Our channel. Today I'm working on our Christmas book because it is October and I'm getting in the spirit. Yeah, I've put a little marker here on the page that I'm going to work on. You can see some of the other pages that I finished or started working on here. So that gives you a glimpse into what we're working towards. Here is the page that I've chosen. So this page will be, I'm working out my book. I'm going from last year backwards. So 2021. That will be 2020. This is going to be 2019 Christmas. So I'm working towards this. I'll take my little marker out. And I have chosen a non-traditional color theme. It's going to be blues and pinks. So I don't know, let's just get started and see where we end up. I have my pink Tombos. You guys know that I love my Tombos. I particularly like working with the brush tip. I think it gives a really great efficient way of coloring. So I've got my pinks, we'll sort those out. I've got my blues, all sorts of blues here because I kind of want to go for a bluey green theme. So I've got some teals and a little mint green here. And I've also got some purples because if you watched our last episode on how to use non-traditional colors, you'll see that purples are really great for adding shadow and depth. So I've got my purples here as well. So we're going to chuck them in there. And then I'm going to get my test bit of paper. So, oh look, kids' drawings all the way through it. I've got my test bit of paper. I'm going to plonk it there. And I think what we're going to do is we're just going to feel our way through it and see where we end up. I have this vision of it being quite a blue page with highlights of pink. So let's have a look and see how this is going to turn out. I think I'm going to test. What I'd like to do is test some of the background colors. So I'm going to get some of these lighter colors, I think. Or maybe we should go darker. Oh, what should we do? Okay, let's have a little test and we'll see. That's kind of like a minty green, and that's quite nice. There's a light blue. And let's just see what happens when we start joining these together. I mean, a very poppy blue page would be nice. So maybe we should do that. Let's have a look. These ones are going to be too dark for now, I think. I think we'll use them for adding shadow and depth. That one's quite dark. Now, you'll notice that these two are quite deceptive, the 473 and the 403. This one looks like it should be lighter, and it's actually a whole lot darker and it's a bit closer to blue. So remember to always use your test page. Every one of our books has a test page on the back, and you can see I've tested some blending here. Yeah, please do use it. It's there for a reason so that you can test out your colors before you make a mistake in the main part of the book. And you can use both sides, test your coloring. Yeah, heaps of room for you to test. Okay, let's do a background of this color. And then I think what I'm going to do is use some of the darker colors to add shadow and depth for some of these. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. So let's get started. One of the things, if you've watched our other videos, you would know that I tend to do is I tend to just color across a lot of the more detailed stuff. So I will color over the top of some of this stuff, and then I will use things like gel pens to make them pop back out. Now that's just an efficient way of for me to color. So I'll show you what I mean, and you can see whether this would work for you. So instead of outlining each one, which I could do, I tend to just go over the top, and then I'm going to use something like a gel pen to make these snowflakes pop again. And that's just because I am just plain lazy. I don't want to spend hours outlining it, but if that is if you like the really detailed stuff and you want to do that, then by all means, go right ahead. Okay, I've got my base color down on this first full page, and I'm going to do the same on this page, and I think I'm just going to end my color about here, and we'll see where that ends up in terms of photos, but I think photos will fill this, and then I'll have a handful of photos here. But yeah, I'll just color that in, and we can always tweak and adjust depending on what the photos look like when they go in. Let's talk about these pens for a second too. These are the Tombow dual tip brush markers. They're water-based. They've got a brush tip on one end and a thin tip on the other, which is really good for detailed stuff. I love working with these, and I use the brush tip the most because I can tip it on its side like this, and I can cover a lot of area, especially when I'm coloring stuff like this. So I find it a really, really efficient way of coloring. And you can also do really like fine detailed stuff. You can get in the corners with that brush tip, reach those little corners of illustrations. And another tip that I've gone over before, but I'll remind you guys again in case you're new to our channel, is to outline all of your elements that you don't want the color to go in, or the space that you're coloring. So you can see here I've gone around the elements that I don't want to fill, and that just gives me a little bit of leeway, lets me be a little bit more relaxed when I'm actually filling in this space. So I'll show you again. Let's do this space. Kind of outline this, and then I can be fairly free and easy filling that space up because I've got a border to work within. Yeah, there's a couple of tricks that help you color fast but also keep it neat. All right, we've done our background. Now what I think I'm going to do is start working on all the elements, and then we'll work back to the background and start adding shadows, and we'll make it pop that way. Okay, let's have a look at some of the pinks, and we'll see how these colors might go together. My instinct is to do the letters first, and then we'll do our little Santa hats, and then we'll start filling in the snow globes, and we'll leave some white for the snow and then we'll work on the snowflakes, and then we'll add shadows. So we'll kind of work back from there. But I have a feeling that these letters could look really, really cool. So let's play around with some grading of color. I love this deep, dark reddy pink. That's number 815. That's a brighter pink. That is number 743. You can kind of get the gist on what it's going to look like now. I feel like this is a dust. Oh no, this is an orangey pink. I mean, that's kind of cute. I think that would be better like that. And let's see what these two look like. 723. Have I got a double up? Oh yes, I've got a double up. With 723. And that's a light pink. Do we want to add in an orange? Go like that. Pink to orange. No, let's go pink. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take those two out. I'm going to work like this. So I'll show you here. Let's do it again. Use your test paper. Lovely little gradient. Okay, let's see where we end up. Okay, I've done the first lot. Now let me talk you through, while I touch up some of these, my conundrum. In my head, I'm tempted to do the dark red as the edge of that, or the shadow. So it would look like this. Let's get our test page again. And it would look like that. Now another option is to use a different color and go like that. Or we do a purple. Purple looks good. Or we do a dark blue. I think I'm going to go purple. So this is number 636, and I'm going to use the thin tip here. Just going to fill in the shadow here. I really like that. Okay, I'm going to go through and do all of the letters, and then we'll come back and look at the snowman and the little snow globe bauble-y things. right, guys, here we are. Done our writing. It's starting to come together. Let's have a look at, I know how I'm going to do my snow. So I have this really light purple, which is a really great way to add shadows at 620, to add shadows on a white space to give it depth. But what I'm contemplating is doing quite a dark background for each one of the snow globes so that they pop, and then adding shadow to the background. So let's have a look at some of these colors that I've got. I've got the dark blue. I don't know that I want to use that one because it's a little bit too blue. I've got my dark, really dark blue, but that one actually, the ink's running out. The one that I've had, the only one that I've had problems with the ink, so I'm not going to use that one. Maybe dark, I mean the dark purple would be nice, but it's kind of outside of my color scheme that I was initially looking at. I'm going to go with the dark purple, and I think it's going to make everything pop. It's going to make the snow globe seem better. I'm going to color in the snowflakes and give them some depth before I add the gel pens, and everything is going to start to come together. So let's do the dark purple, and then we can start doing the features, and it's all just going to start coming together. Oh, this is the nerve-wracking bit when you first add a really dark color. You can see here, I'm colouring over these, each one of these little snowflakes. That's because I'm going to use a silver pen to bring those out again. And I'm doing what I said before, where I'm outlining the bits that I don't want to colour, and then I'm going to fill in. Right about now is where I'm starting to get a little bit worried that maybe I've made a mistake colouring it in dark. But I think it will come together once I add shadows and colour in the snowflakes. It just seems very, very dark at the moment. Yay! Okay, I've done this. I'm a little bit nervous that I may have stuffed it up, but what I'm going to do is bring a bit more blue into it by adding some shadows behind each of the snowflakes. So I'm going to get, there we go. And because I'm going to go over them with gel pens, I don't really need to be too fussy about where this goes. So I'm going to add shadows to the gel pens. I'm going to add shadows to each one of the, I'm going to add shadows to the snowflakes, and then I'm going to add shadows to the little baubles, and then I'm going to start adding in some details into the actual little things. So let's see where we end up. So let's talk about where the light source is coming from. Because the shadow or the back of these letters is coming from that side, or projects out that side, we're going to assume that our light source is coming from here. So I'm going to put my shadows on this side. So let's have a look. Light source is coming here. I'm going to add a line around here for my shadow. And I'm going to do the same, really rough on the snowflakes. Again, it's just a little bit, just to add a little bit of depth. And we're going to add our shadow on our bauble. Beautiful. Okay, I'll work through and then we'll come back and add some more details. Okay, you can see here I've gotten started with the gel pens already. I just wanted to test them out. I've got a rose gold gel pen and a gold gel pen. Yeah, I just wanted to see how it all come together, and I think it's going to work well. So the trick with gel pens is that you want them to dry, basically. So you work from this side of the page over and this side of the page, or wherever you're not, if you're left-handed, you'd work that way, just so you're not going to smudge them, and you just let them dry. You can see here, these ones have been sitting there for a little bit. Yeah, so let's see how it all goes together and yeah, how it ends up. It's looking really, really good. So now I'm going to work down this way and hope that I don't smudge anything. Guys, so we've had a bit of a fail with our YouTube video, which is why you're going to see this jump. It's been a couple of days. I've even changed nail polish color, and I ran out of memory on my phone. So we're going to start again from where I left off. Hopefully I'm going to catch you up on the gaps that I missed. Yeah, good luck to me, I guess. All right, guys, we're back. This is where I got up to. I've colored all of my snowflakes in my rose gold and gold gel pens. I use the Kaiser Craft gel pens, which are the ones we have in our online store. They come in a pack of 48, which is super handy, and the ink comes out of the barrel really nicely, which is what you want. So I'm going to go ahead and color that. A few things that I missed out when the video cut off is we did some shadows in our light purple, which is this color, the 620. Show you it there, which is a really, really great way of adding depth to anything that is white or bright. And I'm pretty sure we got adding the shadows in the blue. So let's go ahead and finish this coloring of our snowflakes, and then we'll get on to the snowflakes in the little baubles, and then I think we're pretty much done and we can add notes and photos. Exciting. case this got cut off in our last video, I'm going to go over some of the tricks that I use to work with gel pens. So gel pens take a little while to dry. So these ones here, you'll see, if I go like that, you can see some of the shimmers come off. So you just need to leave them a little bit to dry. So that's why I color across this way. Now, if you're left-handed, you'll probably go this way. It just means that my palm won't smudge the ink and drag it across the page and then smear it everywhere. I mean, in a page like this, it wouldn't matter because it just ends up all shimmery, but just so you know, that's what I do, and I just let it sit to dry before I close the book. It doesn't usually take too long, but a couple of minutes should do it, and then I just like test with my finger or a tissue or something just to make sure that it's not going to smudge. A few other things that we've kind of gone over. It's easier again to outline all of your elements and fill in the space. If you want to have really nice consistent coloring, you can choose a direction to color, and your eye doesn't, even if you, so you might choose like, I'm going to do all my strokes this direction, and your eye won't pick that up. Now, I tend to do that a bit more when I've got a whole, when I'm not filming, because I can move my book around and like rotate it and keep it there. But also, I also don't mind that I can see a few different strokes. That doesn't bother me. If that bothers you, the best way for your eye not to pick that up is to choose a direction and keep it consistent across the whole page. Yeah, again, just play with colors. You don't have to be a perfectionist with this. Honestly, the way that I'm coloring each one of these, if you look closely at this, each one of these aren't beautifully colored, they're just scrappily colored. But my whole theory with keepsake books and memory books is done is better than perfect. And as you get on, you'll build techniques and tips, and you'll like some pages more than others, and that's okay. I think the whole idea is just to get things down on paper and just start working on them, because otherwise you're going to sit back and you're going to hold back from doing any of it because you're afraid of it not being perfect, and then that's when you get stuck. Okay, let's start doing some snowflakes, and I'll show you this theory with the gel pens. My kids have been into these, so they're out of order. Here's a silver, that's what I'm going to use. I also have a white gel pen and some paint pens, which also work really, really well if you want to do white. I use both Posca, and I've got a couple of Amazing Life with Color. These are much more affordable and I would say very similar quality paint pens, so definitely check out Life of Color. I'm going to test out this silver pen to do my snow, and then we can kind of go over all the materials again. Again, I'm not being too fussy with this, guys. Just little dots, doesn't have to be perfect, but it's really starting to come together. I'm so impressed with this. I think I'm going to add a few more sparkles just because I feel like I haven't worked on this page very much over the last few days. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my silver gel pen. I'm going to add some little crosses and a few dots just to give a kind of sparkle effect on the red bits. there we go, we're done. So the next thing to do would be to stick in your photos. I don't have my photos printed and prepped. That was a rookie error on my part, but I do want to go through and give you guys an idea of the photo printers that I use and how I stick my photos into my book, because I get asked that all the time. So what I'm going to do is, just in case you haven't seen, I'm going to show you a recent page that I did. There's this one, it needs photos on this page, but you can see here I used the Canon mini print on this one, and it prints off little business size photos that have a sticky back. So that's actually a really, really, really good way. It's a little bit more expensive than printing it out at like Kmart or Officeworks or any of your like big photo printing places. But the fact is that it's so easy to use and you just like slap them in there. So it's a really great way. If you just want to do your memory books, that is the way to do it. And I've used the same thing for this page here. And we've done a video on this page. If you want to see it, just check out our previous videos. That we'd go into a bit more depth about shading and coloring and using the same technique with gel pens and things like that. So definitely check that out. I'm going to do a video on photos later, and I'm going to use this page and stick in different size photos and check out some layouts. So yeah, let's go over some materials. We've got the Blueberry Co. Christmas book, our favorite Christmas memory book. We've got our Tombow dual brush markers, our brush tip and our thin tip, and we're also using some gel pens, and these are the Kaisercraft gel pens. You could use any water-based marker, any gel pen. The trick is that they have to be water-based, so don't go using your Sharpies or Copics or anything else like that. It's water-based only. Anything alcohol-based will bleed through. But otherwise, guys, have fun. I hope this has been useful for you guys and given you something to work with. And the next page, I don't know, tempted by that one, guys. If you've got a favorite, drop it in the comments, because I would love to hear what page or what book you want me to do next. I mean, that's super cute. Look at all of these. I need to try this. And I do need to fill in these pages. So there's heaps more to do. Yeah, I can't wait to hear from you guys. Don't forget, every book of ours has a test page at the back, so please use it, and you can use a spare piece of paper to check out your colors and how they all go together. I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching, guys. Very appreciated. See you.